Armenian culture is a rich, interesting culture with much to offer. The vast majority of these people come from the country of Armenia, but there are Armenians who come from areas beyond the traditional borders. The country of Armenia is home to mountains, forests, various waterways, and fertile soil. Many claim that Armenia was the first nation to formally adopt Christianity. This has not been a constant throughout their history, however. Due to foreign nations invading, they've been forced to adopt other religions over the course of their history. One example of Armenian mythology is the character Al. According to mythology, owls go around stealing the lungs and livers of pregnant mothers. Owls will also steal newborn children or cause miscarriages. Prayers, onion, garlic, and various charms help to protect mothers from these creatures. Armenians who belong to the church attend weekly and believe in the Christian version of death and heaven. Unlike Western Christianity, they don't put much emphasis on sin. They do have a great respect for the dead, honoring them after Mass weekly as well as leaving food at the graves of loved ones. Armenian literature has been influenced by European literature. Much of these writings talk about the history of the Armenian people, often referring to the genocide that they suffered during the 1920s. Another important part of Armenian culture is food. The phrase, "we have bread and salt among us," is a friendly phrase among Armenians that they say before eating. This has led to the tradition that visitors, often political dignitaries, are greeted with bread and salt. Wine and brandy are also popular among Armenians. They use local grapes to make these drinks, making them unique to the region and unique to Armenian culture. Children are highly valued in Armenian culture. Mothers spend most of their time nurturing them, as well as teaching them about their culture and customs. Once children mature, they are subjected to strict discipline and expected to contribute to the household. Education is highly valued to the Armenian people and is pretty much free for everyone. The Armenian government even mandated that everyone learn how to read in 1918. This program continued under the rule of the Soviet Union and was extremely successful. When it comes to marriage, Armenians are much like other cultural groups in the way that they marry monogamously and often form their own households rather than live with family. Arranged marriages are an occurrence among some Armenians, but this is an uncommon practice. Although women are given the same access to education and equal pay for all as stressed, they are they often make less than their male counterparts. Women and men are supposed to be equals on the political playing field as well. However, when it comes to holding public office, women are generally underrepresented, only holding a small portion of the seats. In Armenia, there are many small farms that practice subsistence farming. These farms mainly provide food for people living in close proximity. These farms also trade little with markets. Most of these farms grow crops like potatoes, fruits, and vegetables. Armenians also raise chickens for meat and eggs. Sheep are used for their meat as well. Armenians also engage in foreign trade for foods like wheat. Cattle are raised but in small groups and with like animals. This is another example of their simple sustenance farming. During the rule of the Soviets, commercial agriculture was the workhorse of the economy. Since the downfall of the Soviet Union, commercial farming and many of the other industries in Armenia have switched from being run by the state to a more capitalist-like economic system. During Soviet rule, technology was a big industry in Armenia. Because of economic troubles in the Department of Technology, this has slowed, and the economy is now centered around mining and production. Foreign relations have continued to be a problem for the Armenian people, mainly because of various conflicts. There's been a conflict in nearby Azerbaijan, where two countries have been fighting over a disputed region. This has made trade tough for Armenians. Armenians have a vibrant history when it comes to the arts. From literature to the music, The Armenians have it all. Much of their art is influenced by the genocide they suffered in the 20s. However, some serves a more functional purpose. Armenian literature has been influenced by European literature. This is not to say that they don't have much meaning to the Armenian people. On the contrary, much of their writing is unique to Armenians. Much of this writing talks about the history of the Armenian people and the genocide that they suffered in the 20s. In terms of government, Armenia is a democratic constitutional country. This has been so ever since the Armenian people adopted a constitution in 1995. In Armenia, there is a democratically elected president, a prime minister, and a parliament. As we've seen throughout this presentation, Armenians hold many of the same values that we hold valuable here in American culture. However, there are some differences. If we keep an open mind, we can see that we are very alike. Please take some time to explore this rich and vibrant culture. Thank you.